Section 3.3 to 3.5 review. Calculators are allowed on this portion of the review, so you might want to get your calculators out because we're going to be using them on this problem. First, we are given a function, and I'm asking for what value of x is the slope going to be equal to 5. So that's the same thing as asking for when the derivative is going to equal 5. So for part A, we first need to take the derivative, which is move through the constant, hit the e, nothing changes, now hit the power, and the derivative of the power is a 10x. So we need this to equal 5. Because we have a calculator, the quickest way to do this is to simply type in this function equaling 5. That's an equal, not a minus. Kind of hard to tell. So on the home screen, I will go F2 solve for when 3 times e to the 5x squared times 10x equals 5 with respect to x, and close the parenthesis. So hit enter. Actually, I'll hit diamond enter so it doesn't try and give me an exact value. I get this warning that says more solutions may exist. So sometimes when I get that, it means I probably should double check on my graph. But because I just have an exponential on here, I'm going to trust that my answer is what comes off my calculator. If on my answer key or on the test, if this shows up with additional answers, then you'd probably want to graph the function 3e to the 5x times 10x, and you'd want to graph 5 and look for the intersections. But in this case, it was just the 1 point. So let's look at part B now. Part B, same scenario. We got to take the derivative, and in this case, I'm going to do the product rule. So the first one times the derivative of my second plus the second times the derivative of my first. Again, I need that to equal 5. So I'm going to use my calculator. Just like I did in part A, I'll clear out what I've got, do an F2 solve. 6x squared times e to the x plus e to the x times 12x. I need that to equal 5, and I'm solving with respect to x. Hit enter. Oops. Oops, I forgot my x's in my exponents. That might help. I again get that warning. And I neglected to do diamond enter, so we'll see if it gives us a decimal. It's busy. Oh, we still got a decimal. So x is 0.277, correct to 3 decimal places. Again, because I got that warning, I could double check on my graph if I chose, but since this is the answer, I'm going to leave it. Last one, part C. Again, I need to take the derivative, and we can see that I have a product rule. So the derivative is the first function, 5x, times the derivative of the second, which I'm going to have to do the chain rule with. I have an e first and then a power. So the e stays unchanged, so that's e to the x cubed. Then I have to multiply by the derivative of the x cubed. So here's my first times the derivative of my second, plus my second times the derivative of my first. Again, I need that to equal 5, so I will use my calculator. Go to F2, solve for when 5x times e to the x cubed times 3x squared plus e to the x cubed times 5 equals 5 with respect to x. Diamond enter. And we wait. We have the warning. We'll see if we get the answer. If we don't, we need to go look at the graph. And we get busy x equals 0. And we're done.